The concept of anxiety has never been more relevant. And look, I don't want to hear no historians in the comments be like, well actually in 2nd century Peru. Nah, just let me make my point. The internet has allowed us to access a large ocean of information. Information that helps, but also information that frustrates, frightens, and confuses. We're like children in regards to this pool of information. We haven't really learned how to swim and yet we're jumping off the diving board. And look, I don't mean anxiety just as it's understood in regards to mental health. I mean anxiety as in, oh shit, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you're missing out. Why haven't you accomplished this yet in life? You're a fucking loser, go, go, go. I try every food item at Disney World, why haven't you tried every food item at Disney World? Is it because you're wasting your life like you're already dead? There's just a lot of noise today, okay? A lot of stimulation. But perhaps the antidote to all this chaos can be found in the past. Epicurus is a pretty favorite philosopher of mine. I mean, I really can't say anything bad about the guy. He's after something that really can be the antidote for our world of rampant anxiety. Something called ataraxia. Now, this is a pretty popular concept in a lot of Greek philosophy, and there seems to be variation, but for our purposes, Epicurus' conception of ataraxia is the state of being undisturbed, untroubled, which to me necessarily implies contentment. However, this concept of ataraxia seems a perfect prescription for the anxiety of today. I mean, open up your Instagram Explore page and what do you see? Okay, I got a lot of memes and shit and a lot of thirst traps, but you also see the flaunting of wealth and luxury. And an average person may look upon this and say, damn, I fucking suck in life compared to this. I gotta work more and take more risks and put all my money into crypto coins just so I can achieve this awesome lifestyle. And what do you think happens when that person takes on extra hours at work just to lose all that money in Nietzsche coin or something? They're gonna feel pretty fucking terrible. Epicurus' ataraxia seems pretty good in comparison, doesn't it? Here's another modern day example. Let's say you make the common mistake of going on Reddit and commenting that Spinoza is a pantheist instead of a panentheist. And now you got Cannabis Zebra 86 commenting that you're a dumb. Like many people today, you might take great offense to this, then starting some big commenting war, and even if you win the argument, you're still just going to be frustrated. Again, Epicurus' ataraxia of being unbothered would be a pretty great alternative, huh? Now obviously there's going to be things in life that are just impossible not to be bothered by. You lose a job, you lose a friend or a family member. I mean, life can hit you with many things to be justifiably bothered by. But I think Epicurus' advice could help us not to be more bothered than necessary, practically speaking. But how exactly do we get to this ataraxia? And can this be applied to modern life, or was it exclusive to the ancient Greeks? Well, there's 3 points that I think can be applied by you right now, sitting on the toilet watching this video. Firstly, value mental pleasures over physical pleasures. A Rolex, a Maserati, these physical pleasures take a lot of work and struggle to acquire. But if you can achieve pleasure or happiness from within, that isn't dependent on the outside world, and this happiness can be accessed by you at any time without struggle. I know this isn't exactly the same thing, but it makes me think of that one part in Sin City where this guy gets captured in jail, but he's able to escape to his mind and experience contentment. Secondly, and this kinda just ties into the first one, don't recklessly chase pleasure. Epicurus is very much more about reducing pain than chasing pleasure. He is called a hedonist, so he does focus on this relationship between pleasure and pain, but is much more interested, it seems, in addressing the pain part of it and being free from pain. So when you're tempted to get mad and start arguing with someone online, just don't. You're gonna get mad and feel pain in the pursuit of some pleasure, even though really, who gains pleasure from winning an internet argument anyway? Thirdly, place more emphasis on friendship. Epicurus lived a content, bare necessities life in his little community called the Garden, where he and his friends lived pleasantly on the basics. You may consider this boring, but I think the inclusion of friendship is really key here. With good friends, you don't need external goods to find happiness. You don't need luxury goods or fine dining. You just need the company of good people. So those are just 3 ways I think someone in the modern world could practically apply Epicurean philosophy to their life. Obviously things are a little different now. We can't just run off to our own little garden when we live in the middle of the Bronx. But it's still possible to at least apply a good deal of Epicureanism to your life, which makes him a favorite philosopher of mine.